Rush, judging from traces of candied fruit and nuts that archaeologists have found in ancient Egypt, Arabia and China.
Right, that early taste for the sweet stuff has only grown more insistent. Look around you, sweets, candy, they're everywhere and it's now
thanks, you're calling me sweet.
You wish.
Well, we all know kids love candy as well. It's become a huge industry, and today the new game in town is hard candy that is made in the full view of the public.
Right, in fact, the sight captivated our producer Hasnita Majid so much that she relinquished pen and notebook and charged right into the candy store.
You've heard and probably seen the art of cake and pastry making, but what about candy making? Well, you're about to find out. Sweet Enchantment is one of those candy stores that's also a candy making factory at the same time, because it's here where hard rock candies are made in full view of the public. The candy creators work behind the store's candy making counter every day, creating fun designs with different flavors to suit customers' tastes. Today, I get to try out all that with the help of 3 candy creators, Shichi, Maya and Wenyao. The team makes between 28 and 32 kilograms of candy a day during weekdays and double that amount during weekends. Each batch of 8 kilograms of sugar takes about 3 hours to make, and it all starts with the boiling up of the sugar. The ingredients that go into candy making include glucose, flavorings as well as coloring. Sweet Enchantment is an all-natural rock candy shop, which means it doesn't use artificial coloring or flavors.
All the ingredients that we have is actually imported from Europe, from America, from Australia, and then we actually chose the best one and we actually put it together in this kitchen itself. For example, like English breakfast tea, the tea is actually extracted from the tea leaves themselves. Sakura is actually extracted from the cherry blossom. From the fruits like yuzu, lemon, they're all extracted from the fruits themselves.
You have so many flavors here, so how do you come up with the 4 themes? Fruits, what else do you have?
Fruits, flora, afternoon tea, happy hour. Fruits generally is a popular thing among candy, and because our fruit candy is actually, the ingredients actually extracted from fruit, so it's actually flavorful, and we wanted something unique, so we actually started exploring to flowers. I wanted to be a florist, by the way, so we actually explored into flowers like lavender, rose, which are common, and then we actually branched out to having sakura and having lemongrass. Okay. I'm a very tea person, so we actually wanted to have something like tea, coffee. These are the things that we actually want to look into. Since we appreciate wine, why don't we actually have a happy hour kind of theme whereby we actually introduce wine into the candy and then also to have some like cocktail mix.
Indeed, there's a mixed bag of treats for everyone with a total of 25 flavors to choose from. One of them is bergamot or lime, which we are making today.
Making candy is like, how do you treat a lady? A lady has temperament. You can't keep them waiting too long. You can't rush them. So it's like you really need to find that balance in candy making. So if you do not have the patience, it's rather hard to work with them actually.
Well, lucky for us, everything seems to go as planned. When the sugar is ready, it's poured onto this cooling station where colouring is added and stirred so that it will spread nicely.
This needs a lot of hand strength.
Later you will more.
You mean this is not it?
This is the one easiest part.
Once the colouring is nicely spread out, the candy dough is separated into 2 blocks, the yellow block and the green block, and then kneaded into a mould. Now comes the fun part, the pulling of the candy dough. Pulling is intrinsic to the texture of the candy. It aerates the candy dough and gives it its sheen. The candy dough needs to be pulled at least 50 times, after which it slightly hardens into a consistency that's ready for the next step. Of course, I had to have a go at it too, but it's not as easy as it looks.
Oh, it's stuck. Oh no, and now both are stuck to my gloves. Okay, fail. So pull
Then you
down.
just grab the center and then...
After some help from Maya, the candy began to harden, making it easier to pull.
Center. Oh, this is so much easier.
The next step is the crafting of the candy into the desired shape. The team cuts the green slab into 6 portions and shapes each one like a triangle. Each triangle needs to be constantly pressed at the sides and turned so that the 3 sides stay flat to give the slab a nice shape.
This is hard work.
The candy makers look like real pros doing this. They can create any pattern on the candy, which can be personalized or customized designs. It's hard to imagine that they've been at it for only a few months.
For all your candies, it's almost the same process.
It's the same process. It's just that because we work with all the basic shapes,
Yeah.
so yeah, we just need to think of basic
Okay.
shapes and then put them all together. Like flowers, right? Let's say it's for tulip.
Yeah.
Then you just put 3 triangles together
Oh.
and then just make a U shape at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just try to split it up into
Okay.
very basic shapes
I
so we
see.
can work with them. Yeah.
The team took about 6 months to fine-tune the whole candy-making process, and within the first month of opening the store, they sold some 3,000 jars of candy.
I understand that you probably will try something like durian in future.
Yes.
Will we see like a teh tarik flavor or Milo
actually,
dinosaur?
We do have. It's not exactly teh tarik. It's actually a tea flavor. It's from English. It's an extract from English
okay,
breakfast tea.
okay.
And because of the milky texture of the put sugar,
Okay.
some locals say it actually tastes like teh tarik. I say, yeah, actually it does if you put it that way.
Okay.
Now, once the candy slabs have been put together into the desired shape, it's time to stretch the candy dough into long, rounded strips, the final shape of the rock candies. The candy dough must be pulled with the right amount of strength, or it will become too thin or even snap. Then comes the last part, cutting the candy dough into small pieces. This needs a steady hand to ensure that the pieces are cut into just the right sizes.
Okay, I think I totally massacred the whole tube.
Excess candy dough at each ends of the slab which cannot be made into these candies are not wasted. They are made into lollipops.
My very own lollipop.
After 3 hours of laborious work, these candies are finally ready to be bottled and sold. Well, muscat or white grape flavoured candies may be the store's best sellers, but these candies that I helped to make have got to be the best tasting ones. And that to me is a real sweet taste of success.
That was like a commercial, that last shot.
Yeah, I know. Looks like an art form, doesn't it? Like all
It
that
does.
sculpting and molding and shaping. And
Yeah, it is quite interesting to see how it's made. I mean, to think that, from that huge chunk of candy comes these little bits, but...
And the good thing is you can pretty much, invent your own flavors, whatever
Yeah,
you want.
that's
You
right.
just, yeah.
What kind of flavor would you like?
I actually fancy the teh tarik one, which is like
Okay,
the sweet
okay.
milk tea version. Also durians, that would be
Ooh.
quite
I like durians, but somehow not as candy. I prefer more fruity flavors. I'm more into the lime.
And it's also a
the...
hard candy, so it wouldn't have that soft, the texture of durian. But
Yeah, what do you think the difference between hard? I mean, the hard and soft candy, I guess one you can chew and one you kind of just...
It depends, I guess, it's a chew factor. If you like, suppose, chewy
okay.
stuff, then maybe this is not your cup of tea.
Well, there you go. Our producer, Hasnita Majid, who clearly got a bit of a sugar high from all that candy making. You can see she had big smiles on her face
Yeah.
throughout the whole time.
So jealous, so green with envy.
Well, you too can take a look at how they make candy. Just make your way to the shop Sweet Enchantments, which is located at Vivo City.
Okay. On that note, it's time for us to go on a coffee break. A really
Actually,
short one.
want to stick around because while we're talking about sweet candy, later on we're going to be talking about what happens if you lose your teeth and you need dentures. So you see, perfect oral care.